All right, I wanted to do a walkthrough of an old shortwave radio. This is a collectible. I'm going to start the video out with, if you're looking for a shortwave radio and you just want something, yeah, don't buy this. It's old and it only has certain capabilities and stuff. If you really want a shortwave radio for a good price, I recommend you buy a Texan PL330. I bought this for $40 brand new, and it's got upper sideband, lower sideband, lots of features, lots of memories. This is a great radio. Works really, really good. So if you just want a shortwave radio, buy one of those. This is more about people who like to collect radios, okay? This was made in 1987. This is a Sony ICF-SW1E. The E is the kit that comes with it. Now, this comes with a nice little attaché with a strap on it. And when you open up the box, it has a whole bunch of stuff in it. It's got a bunch of accessories. Okay, this one still has the original user's manual. It says 1S. The S was just the radio itself, and the E means, I think, the entire kit. I think I have that right. It also came with a book here. Let's get it out. There we go. Sony's Wave Handbook, and it talks about all of the shortwave stations on all the different bands, where they are in the world and everything. Yeah, kind of a fun thing. Of course, probably most of these stations are closed down now. Shortwave's not very big these days. So I think even the back here, I saw something. Oh yeah, it talks about different accessories you can buy too. All right, so let's put those back in the little compartment over here. That's pretty cool. Okay, so what comes with the kit? Well, the radio itself. This is the SW1, and it has a little lanyard attached. It has this little funny little thing here on the lanyard that helps you prop up the radio. It tilts it towards you. That's what that funny little thing was. And if you think this is for like tapping the screen or something, no, it's just a little prop. It uses 2 AA batteries. It does have a internal ferrite antenna for. I don't think it does. It labeled it in the literature, but I've taken this apart and I didn't see a ferrite rod. It does have an internal rod, though. It does have an antenna that pulls out, and then once you get it out all the way, then you can flip it up. So I do like that about the radio. It has a hard on-off switch and a soft on-off switch, so you have to use both. You turn it to the main power, and then you can use the on-off button here. You can go to different memories, which I don't have programmed in right now. Let's see here. It says, oh, that's not a valid address. So you can do FM, and then you can type in a number 10490. And then you hit FM again, and you get the local opera singer here. Okay, it has shortwave. It only has AM and FM, though. It has no single sideband at all. It does have a timer built in, so you can have it set as an alarm clock. You can have a key protection so you don't accidentally push the buttons. It does have a sleep modes where it'll put you to sleep and then turn off. Back in the old days, all the radios had those things. Yeah, it's a nice little radio. So other features it has a filter on the audio for talk, news and music. So high frequency in the music and low. It has a high frequency cutoff for voice. That's what that is. Volume. Headphones, external 3 volts. On this side, we have an attenuator for DX or local. So if you have a strong station, put it on local. It has a line out for a recorder. So that's pretty cool. It has a think you can see that it has a light. I've replaced the LED in here with something brighter than the original one. So it says FM stereo. It does have FM stereo, not just FM. FM stereo, long wave, short wave, medium wave, phase lock loop synthesized receiver. It was quite a fancy radio in its day. Like I said, 1987. Okay, but this video is sort of mostly about what all comes with it. Okay, so one of the cool things was it came with earbuds. So these are Sony earbuds, and it has a way to wind up the coil here. Once you have it pulled out, you can wind it back up. So that was pretty cool. It comes with a 3-volt charger. Of course, they didn't have switched power supplies back then, so this is a big chunky, heavy transformer. People say, why don't you use transformers? Well, because they were big and chunky. The nice switching ones are nice and small. Of course, it comes with a US type plug, and it has an adapter here for European. So this was like a travel radio for all across the world. So that should get you going. Okay, so you're listening to shortwave. You might need something a little bit longer antenna for that. So it came with these accessories. Now, this first accessory is a preamplifier. It calls it an antenna controller, but it's like a preamplifier. So it has an on-off switch, an attenuation, 0 dB or minus 20 dB, and then which band you're listening to, shortwave, long wave, or medium wave. Now that plugs on the side of the radio here, so it gets its power off of this connection here. All right, and if you've noticed, the little antenna pokes out a bit, and there's a little pogo pin in here, so that's the way this thing makes contact to the antenna. It just touches the end of that antenna. Now it's connected. Now this is to be used with an external antenna, and that's what this thing is. Okay, so this thing is a very, very long antenna. Let me pull it out here. It's about 1 meter long, and it also has a cord for plugging into this. Okay, so to use it, you would go into the from module. Okay, and now you've got this as the external antenna. All right, and this has a very, very long cord, so you could place this somewhere farther away, and I think just that this long cord here probably acts as an antenna as well. And then when you're done with it, you can zoom it all back down into this. We'll disconnect it from here, zoom it in. Now all the stuff's going to be using quite a bit of juice, so there's a battery, extra batteries in this thing. So for longer use, you have a bunch of batteries in the bottom of your antenna, so that's in there, and then it supplies power to the rest of the radio. So that's a pretty cool feature. All right, and this is the preamp and the radio, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So these things still aren't very cheap. I paid $100 for this, and it was broken. I needed to repair it. I think any of them that haven't been repaired will be needing a repair. The electrolytic capacitors leak in these things and go bad, so be aware of that. And they're a little bit finicky to work on. I did a video on me repairing this thing. It wasn't a great video. I didn't show everything because it's too finicky, and I had a hard time both repairing it and videoing at the same time. It also comes with this funny little suction cup here, which allows you to, I think, make the antenna like go next to a window. You can like loop it through here. I think that's what this is for. Maybe it's explained in the manual. Yeah, here we go. So you have your antenna. You've put your antenna, and it needs to be kind of vertical in the window, so you use that little suction cup to make sure the telescopic antenna is pointed in the right direction. So that's what that's for. That's kind of hilarious. They needed to add a suction cup in the in the kit. All right. Here's hooking up a cassette recorder using the line out. Specifications: it is super heterodyne, a dual conversion, 76 to 108 FM, and then it has a medium wave. Well, first of all, it has long wave, 150 to 528. Then it has medium wave, 531 to 1611, and then it has shortwave, 1615 to 30 megahertz. So built-in ferrite bar antenna. Okay, well, maybe I just didn't see it, but it says it has a built-in ferrite bar antenna. I must have just missed it when I opened it up. Then the active antenna is what we saw. Power output, power requirements. 12 hours of listening for 4 hours a day. Anyway. Dimensions, accessories. Yeah. Troubleshooting. I can't hear my radio. Turn it up. Anyway, there you go. This is a great collector's item if you like old radios. The Sony ICF-SW1S or SW1E. There you go.